hitting the record button right now. So hello everybody. People know me. I didn't mention the name of my group. It's called Amazon pe Bune, which in Romanian means Amazon for real. So
Cool.
hello everyone. Welcome to Amazon pe Bune. We have Victor today with me, and he's gonna talk a little bit about ranking and how that works.
Yeah. So when it comes to ranking a product, there are multiple ways to do it. The first way is through a super URL. And all that means it's nothing, it sounds all fancy and advanced, but it's really not. It's literally taking how the Amazon structure of what a URL is and basically saying, driving traffic to through that URL, saying, and basically tricking Amazon to thinking they searched that search term and bought it. And that is how you rank for particular search terms, but the effectiveness on that, it's not going to be too good. So it's something that was overused and Amazon sorta the effectiveness on it isn't very good. But when it
Okay.
comes to the search find buy, which means a user goes through basically goes to Amazon, searches a certain keyword, and then buys the product, completely untraceable to Amazon. So the effectiveness on it very very high,
Very high.
and that's what works best in the United States. And as long as you have a very compelling product and you have good reviews on it and good listing and everything, it will do very very well. And I have clients that are currently giving away hundreds of units per day because they make more money staying in a number one position and actually giving away those units, and they make more money and by giving away hundreds of units per day. So it's totally ends up being worth it. The return on investment is definitely there. And it does require a significant investment on it, but in 99% of cases for Amazon sellers, it makes sense to make that investment because if you're not doing it, I can guarantee your competitors are, and they're going to be outranking you because when you're boosting your product, it boosts everything. It
Everything.
boosts your sell through rate. It boosts not only the keywords you're targeting, it boosts your conversion rate, which boosts all your keywords, and it boosts all your PPC ads. So, because of that really great conversion rate, since your metrics are going to be upgraded, essentially, the PPC of your product is going to go down. Your cost per click to find new people is going to go down.
So
So,
can I
oh,
break you? Can
yeah,
I stop you
go
for
ahead.
one moment? Because
Yeah.
before I hit the record button, I was telling you that why I started this is because everybody's promoting the idea of ranking with only PPC, and you just like killed it right now, saying that
Yeah.
everyone like the big guys. Because I like to think about the sellers that are like more doing like more than a million at least. They are doing this search find buy giveaways,
Mhm.
and you just like told me right now, and this is not just my opinion, because I've been talking about this and telling people about this, and the hate just starts, and then they just like it's pouring in on my account, and
Mhm.
everybody's like killing me in the comments, because like no, you can still do it. So first of all,
What's the hate about? I'm just curious.
uh,
Like,
about the fact that you can still do it in the States and still make it with a couple of reviews and doing some PPC, and yeah, you're gonna make a bunch of money on that. So I
yeah,
have two. Actually, I have just one question right now. How many reviews do you need?
it depends. When I do my keyword research, I
Okay,
I I basically look, okay, what keyword am I going to target?
okay,
And then I look, okay, is the competition for that keyword, how many reviews do they have? And I'm going to
okay.
see, is it 50? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? And I'm looking at my competition and I'm saying, okay, if I was ranked number one for that position, what are my odds that that customer will click mine rather than my competitors? If I have 10 reviews and I'm going to be number one with thousands of reviews, I'm not going to do very well. But so when I do my keyword research, I'm looking, okay, if I was positioned number one for that keyword, will it stick? Will it stay up there? And then so to answer your question, how many reviews? I look at my competition on each particular keyword, and that's the answer to find how many reviews I really need. And it's really important to look at your competitors and base it off of that, because you can boost a product all day, but if you are not good, like if not priced competitively, if it's not an attractive product, whatever it is, you can boost a product all day, and no matter what happens, if people
Not
don't buy
gonna
the
stick.
product, it's gonna fall. It's just how it is.
My haters
So
are
it's so
going to say
important.
right now that we talked about this before and we kind of put the information together. But honestly, we talked 1 minute before starting this recording, and I just met you like met you like a week ago, and we never talked since.
Yeah.
But this is everything that I am telling. So last
Mhm.
year in December, I had the opportunity to talk with the biggest guru here in Romania, and they are promoting three types of how can I just tell you this in English? So three thresholds when it comes to reviews. So first they say like this: when you launch your first product, and they don't care about the reviews of other people, they don't care about all the keywords. No, 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 no. You just look at the
Mhm.
main keyword, and then they say you have to get your first 20 reviews in, because that's the psychological point. And I'm just all the time thinking, whose psychological point, man? And I asked him, and it was like no answer. Okay, the second threshold is you have to have like 100 reviews. And the third one is if the niche requires go more than 1,000. So this is completely BS in my opinion. Now I see and I understand from your ideas that also you think kind of the same. So when I'm looking at the product, I'm getting all the keywords out, looking everything, even the smallest ones in traffic, I mean. And then we look at how many reviews you required for each keyword, and what's the price also, what's the selling price, because you cannot enter, in my opinion, and sell for 40. Everybody's selling with 25 if you don't have a very very good explanation why they should pay 40 and not pay 25.
True. And like it all comes down to the messaging on your listing. So if you are a premium, if you're not priced competitively, that's okay. If as long as your listing says why you're a premium
Why?
product,
Of
why you
course.
cost more, or anything else, or either that, and if you don't say that, you have to have a strong brand. You mean that means you have to spend a lot on the back end to gain tons of awareness to build your brand. Then you can sell yourself as the premium product. But if you don't get that message across in your listing, your conversion rate's going to fall, your rankings are going to fall, and nothing is going to do well. You have to get that message across every single time.
Of course. So it's
Mhm.
not enough to just put a product on Amazon, get your first 30 reviews in, and click on the PPC button, do some PPC there. So that's not going to rank, or do you think it's going to rank?
It'll rank, but your conversion rate's not going to be very good. Because like at that moment, since you're just starting, and that's going to make your PPC even more expensive when it
Even
comes to
more
that.
expensive.
That basically, when it comes to launching a product, basically Amazon gives you 2 weeks of a grace period. Like
Hmm.
a lot of Amazon sellers expect to like launch a new product and then have millions of customers come in and start buying their products. That's not how it works. Amazon is a very competitive place.
Of course.
So basically what we do is we boost the product so that way we can get reviews, gain rankings and everything else. And I've seen products stick with 0 reviews. Like because people think it's a great offer and people go ahead and buy it anyway. And I've seen great sales increases just with products with no reviews. And then once we start getting them through with the search, find, buy, we get tons of reviews there. And then it ends up being super beneficial for us.
And for people who are just starting with Amazon, because this group of mine and this idea that I started here is for the newbies. So this is a country where people honestly do not have 50 to 100K to start a business. That's it's not an issue, it's just a situation. It is how it is,
Mhm.
because I don't see it as an issue. And second, we do not understand the modern businesses, and this
Mhm.
is the way that the business in the States and in the modern world works, because we had 45 years of communism and we are in sort of freedom like for 30 years. And the problem is that in the school, in the formal school, they don't teach you this kind of stuff, so you have to learn it from speaking and talking with people who are already doing it. But the idea is
Yeah.
that you cannot find real information on the market here, because they are just like two gurus and they are just promoting the same stuff. And
Yeah.
what would you suggest for someone to do in order to find an agency or someone that can help them with search, find, buy? Because, and I will let you answer this question before I tell you my example. So I'm working with an agency that I cannot recommend. I have an NDA, I cannot talk about it.
Hmm.
So what would should I suggest? I'm Lucian here, I'm talking with you. You have 20K, you start your business. I know you should do search, find, buy. Where should I send you in the States? Who should you talk with so that you can do the search, find, buy if you have the money to?
Yeah, the way I would do it, I would try to talk to someone that really understands what they're talking about. I hear a lot of people like it's so funny because like all these most agencies are like only self promotional, and like the
Okay.
only content they post is only buy me, use mine, use me,
I
use
know.
me, use me, but they're not providing any value. So I would really focus in on an agency that is focusing on providing value to the end person. So
Hmm.
if you notice that a particular person is providing a ton of value, go with them 100% in, because they during like think about it, if they are providing value for free, imagine how much value they are going to add to your life if you pay
You pay
them.
them.
So it's going to be 1,000 times more. So if you're already finding it valuable now, then if you pay them, you're going to get 1,000,000 times more than what your money is, because a lot of these agencies are only going to work off of money and they're not going to work on providing value for you. So that's the difference.
So they should like go to Facebook groups, maybe ask sellers who are already selling on Amazon, big sellers, and maybe they answer to them. I do this all the time. So I just write to them on Facebook or Instagram or I don't know, whatever the platform is. And if they answer, they answer. If I really want to talk with them, then I insist until I spam them. But this is my way of doing it. So would you suggest this to other people? Like just write them a message. You never know when they would answer.
Yeah, when it comes to Facebook groups and LinkedIn, usually the person will answer on one of them most of the
On one of
time.
them. That's
LinkedIn
what's happening
groups,
with me.
yeah, LinkedIn or Facebook, one person will answer.
Okay,
So,
so
mhm.
if I'm a new seller, I just put a product on Amazon, I get the Vine program, get the early review program in, we get the first 30 reviews and stuff like that. How do we get more, for example, if we need like 3 to 400 reviews? How do we do that? Because people are just afraid of doing it.
Yeah,
What would you suggest?
and I would probably run a review capture flow, and what that consists of, it's basically people go into ManyChat, which is a
Okay,
messenger funnel,
okay.
and then at that point they are subscribed to your messenger.
Hmm.
And the reason why I use Messenger rather than email is because email has 20% open rates. Facebook Messenger, 90 to 80% open rates. So if you
Okay,
send out a message, people are going to see it.
to see it, yes.
So that's why I bring them in through Facebook Messenger. So I guide them through the process, tell them to buy the product, they get their rebate, everyone's happy. And then after 14 days is your threshold. If you ask for a review under 14 days, Facebook or Amazon will most likely take it down. So
Okay,
14 days is my magic number, completely arbitrary, but that's what I've seen
okay.
work the best. After 14 days, I ask for a review. And then after that, then I start generating lots of reviews on if the brand is already has a strong brand following.
Hmm.
I've seen 50 to 60% review rates on these products, and that's astronaut. Those numbers are huge.
Yeah,
So we're
if
talking
you're
about
a
if we give
well-known
away
brand.
100 products, we might get 50 or 60 reviews out of it. So it's really great when it comes to getting reviews very quickly, and it makes it where it performs really well if someone wants a lot of reviews there.
How much rebate do you recommend to do on a product?
So for inventory has been a huge problem. So you have to make sure you have enough inventory. Don't go out of stock. No matter what you do not go out of stock. So make sure you have a 3PL in place. But as long as you have the inventory to sustain it, it depends on what keyword you're going for. If you're going for what you call I call it the big kahuna keyword, but
Okay.
basically that means like the two words, like it's the like dog bed, the
Okay.
like iPhone case, like the big keywords that requires like hundreds of thousands of units to go through, then like it depends what scale you're at in your business. But if you're going for the long tail keywords, which is like dog bed for large dogs,
Yeah.
like something like that, which has like probably 10,000 search volume most likely, then you can get away with giving away 10 units per day. 10 units a day over 15 days, that you could rank pretty high on page 1 with that and get decently far with that and get the reviews on top of it. So when it comes to recommending, it depends on what keyword you're going after, and you can research that using Helium 10 Cerebro tool, and you can easily see how much rebates you have to give out. But yeah, it makes it where it works really well, and that's the answer to how many rebates you need to give away essentially.
I I I have I really want to laugh because you just killed a complete idea of how people are starting a business here, recommended on the way that these guys are just telling them. So they are now promoting the idea that you should like buy 200 units and then to the US and test your product, if see if it's going to sell. So you were just telling us like do like a 150 units rebate, and then just give them away, so that means you have no more products. So you
True.
see, this is the difference when people who have experience once and second, who are honest. This is the difference when people like us talk, and
Uh,
people who are just trying to sell a course,
yes.
because there is a complete idea. And honestly, I don't know if you like talking about this low level or ideas, but the situation here is like this. And all the time when I'm bringing in people from the States, because yeah, that's where all the information comes from. We are talking about these ideas that are kind of old and stuff like that, but trust me, you cannot find any real value here. Of course, people are looking to the States also, but since Facebook is really cheap here, the promotions that these guys are doing, because the courses are very expensive, and the level of awareness that they have on Facebook, and people see them all the time, they get a lot of clients, and the market is screwed. What I'm doing
Mhm.
part time, since I'm managing also my brand and doing the CFO part in my brand. I'm doing also CFOs for a couple of people, and right now I'm starting to work with a Romanian brand who's going to sell some stuff in Germany. And people come to me and they say, I'm investing $500 in PPC and I'm only making $300,
Mhm.
and I don't have any stock more, or I just sold out 400 units and I'm $5,000 in minus. So why is that? And that is because just you just said it in this video.
Mhm.
If you do PPC at the beginning, only PPC without search find buy, of course you're going to sell because PPC was very good. And I all the time tell them, because they tell me PPC is not working. No, PPC is working amazing.
Yeah.
You just don't have a good conversion rate. You
Yeah.
have, because maybe you have like $10 profit margin and you have $2 a click. That means you have 5 clicks until your profit margin is gone. But
Yeah.
sometimes you require, and that's how it works, 15 clicks until you sell one product. That's
Mhm.
minus, 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 minus.
Yeah.
So
Eh,
please.
yeah. I was gonna say like it really depends how competitive your category is. Like if you're not in a competitive category, like where there's like two sellers like in total and you're like in a new space, you can go in with a new product and not do search find buy and only PPC. That you can do that. But in the United States, it's so competitive that there's almost no like I don't know a single category that you can do that
Me
actually because
neither.
of how
Me
competitive it
neither.
is.
Me neither.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So mhm.
at the end of the day, what are we talking about? Because in
Yeah.
the United States, it's done. You cannot do it anymore.
Yeah.
Now I have someone from
Exactly.
United States who's just telling this, and a lot of people, because of course we know it. We talk, we have groups, we talk to each other, but for the newbies, this is something that it's unheard of. So United States is very, very competitive. You have to have the money, you have to have the knowledge. Because I had the money at the beginning, but I didn't have the knowledge, so it didn't work good.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
have a lot of hate on this part also.
Yeah. I and it comes with time. Like Amazon is difficult by itself. But if you are a seller and you're trying to promote a product in the United States and you don't have more than $5,000 to invest, then in search find buy or anything else, it's okay to list your product. It most likely will not get very many sales.
Of
I
course.
would most likely recommend if you have under $5,000 budget to just go and try to use Facebook ads to leverage it to your website, grow your email list, grow your customer list, and then leverage it to Amazon using that search find buy or super URLs wherever. That's going to take a lot longer. It's going to take probably 10 times the amount of time,
Yes.
but without money, like you either have time or money. You have one or the other. And so it's either if you don't have very much money, send it to your website, create a website. It's Shopify. You can create one easily. Use Facebook ads, learn Facebook ads. You have to really learn the detailed targeting, lookalike audiences, and things like that. After that, then you can send that traffic to Amazon through those ranking campaigns or whatever you want to do, and then you can gain traction on Amazon. And so that's what I'd recommend if you don't have a huge budget.
Amazing information because you just flipped it right now, 100 degrees. So if you only have 5 to 10K, if you allow me, I would put also five more to that. Uh, Amazon will be the
Mhm.
last stop. So find the product, of course, looking at what's happening on Amazon, but create a landing page or something for that product. Try to get some emails, try
Mhm.
to do some marketing on social media, maybe even Instagram, depending on products. My product is working amazing on Instagram because it's for babies and mommies are on Instagram and they just love it, and that's
Mhm.
what it is. And they are not
Yeah.
on Facebook anymore. I don't have any traction on Facebook groups, so because they moved to Instagram. And then go to Amazon when you already have these people in an email list or something, so that you can just promote them and get some sales. That's going to happen maybe better for people. Amazing information, amazing information. I never thought about it actually like this, because for me it was like all the time two separate businesses, either it's Shopify or it's Amazon.
Yeah. And it's so important to integrate them. Like what I immediately tell clients is first, like if you have a 3PL in place, which is just a warehouse essentially, you can use something cheap if you want. And at first, let's go on Shopify, let's go on Walmart, let's go on all these different channels, and they are integrated strategies. Like I don't care if the client's only going to pay me for Amazon or
Hmm.
whatever. Like you guys need to have a diverse strategy. COVID showed us we need to diversify.
Yeah.
So if you are do not have Shopify, if you are not on Amazon or Walmart, these platforms are extremely cheap to be on. When it comes to launching on them is expensive, but
Okay.
just when it comes to like Amazon's probably the most when it comes to launching products, but being on the Amazon site, it costs like I think it's like $50 a month or something like that. So
39.99.
it's worth being on the platform and testing it out, understanding it, and understanding that this is all integrated strategy. These are your customers regardless. So it's so important. Like when it comes to gathering your Amazon customer lists. I always create retargeting campaigns. Grabbing your Amazon customer list, retargeting those people, bringing them in, and creating a customer list or a mini chat or a Facebook funnel, and I'm getting them back in to reestablish brand authority so we can do that and get more sales through those people that have previously purchased our product. And what I did recently was actually a subscribe and save campaign by with retargeting customers worked phenomenally. Subscribe and
Oh.
save, they save 15%. It's just like normal stuff. And then our lifetime value went up by I think we made probably like $30,000 off of that campaign off Facebook. But it's amazing the capability Facebook has, and when it comes to integrating all your different strategies. So you can take all your Amazon customers, you can take
Mm-hmm.
all your Shopify customers, have a Facebook audience. You can even create a lookalike audience, which will actually target people similar to your Amazon customers and then guide them to your Amazon page. You can send it through super URL so that way you can gain sales and you can gain rankings at the same time. And that way you're constantly being benefited from it. So it depends how much budget you have in there, and you got to be really good. You got to be a super expert when it comes to Facebook ads in order to do that. Once you do understand it, you're gonna dominate Amazon and all these other channels 100%.
Two main ideas from what you just told about, you just talked
Mm,
about right now. You have to have the budget, and you have to be super expert. So if you're not an expert, I think that's very easy. You just hire one, but you have to have the money. So this is something that people should think about, because what I see, and probably you also know the numbers, 90% of people fail on Amazon.
true.
90% of people fail on Amazon. I would also say like 95, but it's just my opinion, and maybe I'm a mean guy this morning. Uh, so this is because, in my opinion, and correct me if you don't agree with me, do not come from an entrepreneurial background. They have no idea how the business world works. And what I see mostly, and I'm just working with clients from my own country, but I think this is generally because I have a lot of friends in Israel, and we talk about with people in Germany, and they have also the same problem. People come from, I don't know, it depends on what the background is, but maybe they are working in a multinational, maybe, I don't know, they are doctors or stuff like that. I don't know. They have fear to take on debt in their company, so they just base the company and everything that they're doing on the money on their own pocket. And this is something that an entrepreneur would never do, or maybe you do it at the beginning, but then you just like go find someone who gives you some money, because you just
Yeah,
said you need money, you need knowledge. If you don't have knowledge, you can buy it, but you have to have money so that you can buy that knowledge.
yeah,
So this
exactly.
is something I see a lot. People like have 5, 10, 15, even 20K, but they don't go out to find more money. Because what I see in this business, and what helped us after 4 years to understand everything that we are talking about right now, search, find, buy, blah, 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 is because we tested, we failed, we tested, we failed, we tested, we failed. But every test cost money.
True. Yeah. And that's why I love Facebook ads more than anything. Like what you said was exactly right. You have to be religious about testing. Like if an entrepreneur is not set on testing new things every single day, then they are set up for failure. Because if you're not testing it, your competition is, and they're learning
Definitely.
insights that you do not know. So testing
Definitely.
is the number one. And it's also important to understand the concept and everything that's going on around your business. And that's why I love Facebook ads, is because tests are very cheap. Like
Hmm.
we can do, like I can test 5 different variables of what works in a Facebook ad, and I'm spending $10 a day. Like we're not talking about anything big, and I can test.
Really.
Okay, like if you want to test if your this landing page works, I can get $100 budget, push it to it, see if it works. And that's why I love Facebook ads so much, is because the targeting capabilities that Facebook has with that for how cheap it is phenomenal. I can target someone with joint stiffness in New York City over the age of 55 that is female, that like crazy things. Like I can
Amazing.
target that capability, and I can target off my customer list. I can target off my lookalike audiences. It's just amazing the things I can target for so cheap right now. So it's great.
Great. So you find the product, you put it on Amazon. First, you get your reviews in based on everything that's happening on that niche, based on the competitors. That's that because that's the requirement. Yeah, you look at others, you see how many reviews they have. So you have your first campaign in, then you do your second campaign. That's search, find, buy in order to rank it. Top three, top five. What do you recommend? Top three, top five on the first page. I think top three in my idea.
When it comes to it depends how many rows there are. But usually on mobile, if more users are actually switching over to mobile now,
Yeah.
so that means they're going to have to scroll farther. Usually there's one row per list now.
Mm-hmm.
On desktop, like about 2 years ago, I would say the top five, top seven, eight is okay. But when it comes to now and more Amazon users switching over to mobile, then it's actually more important to be on that top three because you know that the sponsored ads are going to take usually the top two or
Yeah.
four positions, and then you have like about three or four organic, sometimes only two, and then you have display ads, and then you have all these other ads, which is so crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
So it's
And now
definitely
the
worth
videos are
advertising
popping in.
for. Yeah. And now those, if we're talking about PPC, those work so well. Video, if you get a good video ad up,
It's
man, that is
amazing.
phenomenal. Yes.
Good. So
So
then
I
you
highly
rank
recommend
on
that.
first page, top three, let's just say.
Hmm.
That for me is like 5 to 6 months of work with like having no profit.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just burning probably couple of couple of hundred products is like nothing, maybe even more.
Hmm.
So then after 6 to 7 months, probably, in my opinion, what we are doing based on all the math that we are doing, because we are looking at all the numbers, all the campaigns, all the impact in the cash flow, in the return of investment, in everything. If you have a limited budget until $20,000, you won't make any money in the first year. And I can explain this and I can show it, and this is proof, because you have to run like 4 inventories and you're gonna make money on the fourth one, fifth one if you are lucky. So you
Hmm.
do this, and probably you're gonna make some money after 6 to 7 months if you are lucky and if everything is in place. But usually, if you do this in the first place, the first time, it's going to be a little bit harder. So this is something that, if you agree with me, I would like to advise people, although we say here that advice is only good when people required it or they
Yeah.
ask for it. So if you just tell you my advice, they don't care. I
Hmm.
would advise them right now to just like think about 1 year of no money, just like no profit, just putting in a lot of money. What do you think about that? Do you agree with me?
Reinvesting in the business is so vital. It's not like you can't think of your business as I'm gonna make, like, you can't just take it out, go spend it on a fancy car or whatever. You have to keep reinvesting in your business because that's gonna make it where it goes a lot faster. Because you have to think these these multi-million dollar companies are investing like millions of dollars per month. And if you're not investing any in your side business, essentially, you're not gonna go very far. So
No.
it's so important to always reinvesting your profits and everything else, especially in that first year. And yes, it's okay to not make money on that first year because your area might be so competitive that you're just going just for lifetime value. Like a lot, like especially the supplement category, which is astronomically
Yeah,
competitive,
it's like
and where they're literally just banking and basically their return on investment. They're at 300% ACOS, and
Wow.
basically they're just going for lifetime value. They're just like, they want you to keep rebuying that product. So they may spend $50 to acquire you as a customer, but if you're constantly reordering the
Yes.
product and you buy $200 worth of product, then their lifetime value of that customer is very high, and it's worth paying that $50. So when you're at that first year, you're not going to have very many customers. But as they become lifetime value customers, your brand starts becoming more powerful and everything starts growing. After that, then it becomes exponential once people start knowing your brand.
What I see, and I need to point this out. So it's not like you're gonna make any profit on first inventories, because maybe you just bring in 500 units and you give them all away for your initial reviews. You don't have any profit there. You don't have any profit to reinvest. This is something that I hope you agree with me, because when we tell people reinvest your profit, then they think they will make some money at the first or second inventory, but you don't make any money at your first or second inventory. Basically, you are minus all the time. And I can prove this. It's just simple math. It's not like I'm a genius. So, so you
Yeah.
just have to bring in more money from your own pocket, or maybe you have to find an investor or talk with the bank or something like that. Would you agree with me on this one?
So it's important. That's why I recommend the Shopify, because
Okay.
it's important to like understand, like, your first product variation or version may not be good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you have to first, like, that's why I recommend Shopify. Let's say if you send a bunch of traffic through Facebook ads
Mm-hmm.
and nobody's converting, like, the same thing's going to happen on Amazon. People aren't going to convert unless the product is worth buying. So you have to
Amazing info
first,
here.
yeah. Yeah, and so it's important to make sure that, like, you may think yours the best product, it's the best thing ever, but your packaging, your product packaging may suck.
Yeah.
And that could be that's a make or break on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can rank it one, but and you can invest hundreds of thousands of
Mm-hmm.
dollars, but if you don't know how good that product is, it might not do well. So it's important to test and make different variations of your product and test it on Shopify just starting out. And if you're seeing that, wow, like, this one product on Shopify is killing it, launch that on Amazon and spend a couple of grand on it and
Mm-hmm.
see how it takes off. But don't necessarily I wouldn't recommend just constantly reinvesting. Yes, you have to be patient and you have
Mm-hmm.
to keep investing money. Yes, I believe in that. But make sure you're adding multiple variations with with what product you're providing, and make sure that it's priced competitively, that it's attractive enough, and with all these different attributes, make sure it's compelling enough for the user to come through. And then once you realize you can say, okay, I tested all these product packaging. This works the best. I tested all these different. We are better. So, like, data
Mm-hmm.
wise, like, not opinion, data
Mm-hmm.
wise, we are better than our competitors. And we can
Mm-hmm.
prove that. Now it makes sense. Now all you have to do is invest money and be patient with it on Amazon. Yes, but make sure you're testing if the product is viable. Are you providing something unique, or are you going to be just like everyone else that just has the same supplement with a rebrand? And that's that you're not, like, you can invest a lot of money on that, but if there's everyone's going to be doing it, and the multi-million dollar guys are going to cut you out instantly. So you have to be providing something unique to the customer, either that or you have to have strong brand, one or the
Mm-hmm.
other. And if you could spend all this money on branding and then guide them to your however you want to do it, but make sure you're testing. And if you have a small budget, I would recommend Shopify first every single time.
This makes me think about a person who's at the very beginning of their journey. They find a product. I'm still not clear in my mind where they find this product. Maybe they look on Amazon or blah, blah, blah. And then they should do a Shopify, start running some ads on Facebook with, I don't know, maybe 100 units in inventory just to test the product. So this is a completely different type of testing a product when we compare it with Amazon. Because if you do Amazon, you have to bring in probably more than 100 units, start running some PPC, you have no reviews, you have nothing in compare with your other competitors. Maybe people they are going to buy, maybe they're not going to buy, so you cannot run you can run $10 a day ads on PPC, but it's not going to do much in my opinion. Maybe Facebook is better than that.
Mhm.
And it's going
Yeah.
to look very bad because you're going to have a lot of money stuck in PPC and actually no real data because I don't know how can you it's not comparable. This is amazing what you just talked about right now, because you can do it very cheaper on Facebook with Shopify, and then you see, okay, it's working, it's not working. You also have the emails. You can ask people, you can talk directly with them. It's your platform. I mean, you can do whatever you want to. On Amazon, you are very restrictive, so you
Yeah.
cannot do a lot of stuff. So this is just amazing. I mean, if
True.
people want to do this, I
Mhm.
would recommend right now. Amazing idea. Maybe we should do a course on that. Find a product on Amazon and test it with Shopify. Don't
Mhm.
test it on Amazon. Test it outside of Amazon. If it's working, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Then you just go on Amazon and you calculate your budget and you see, okay, I test it out. It's working. I do the tweaks here. Now the product is it's better than at the beginning. Let's just do the first review campaign.
Yeah.
Let's just do the second review campaign. But in my opinion, and what we've done and what I see people doing, they don't make any profit on the review campaign because you sell a product with $30, yes? Everybody's selling it with $30. In order for you to do that review campaign, maybe you give them a coupon, and and that coupon is your profit margin. So
Mhm.
you are just getting some money back, your cost of goods sold money back, but you're not making any profit. Okay, you
Mhm.
order the second inventory because you have the money since your cost of goods sold is back in your pocket, but then you do it again and you have no money in profit again. So what you reinvest? You don't reinvest profit. You just reinvest the cost of goods sold, which was your initial money, wherever it comes from. And maybe you make some profit after you do the search, find, buy, which means you have 2 or 3 campaigns where you make no profit. You just get back your cost of goods sold because that's how it is. It's just simple math. Again, I'm not a genius. It's just simple
Yeah.
CFO stuff. It's 101.
Mhm.
And then maybe after 6, 7 months, when you have your rankings in place and your reviews, then you're going to make some money. I think this is very important for people to understand, because here is promoted like this. You bring in your first inventory, you put it on Amazon, you run PPC hard, or maybe like this, it depends on the budget. And you're not going to make money in the first couple of months, they say. But nobody's specifying why.
Yeah.
Why you're not going to make money in the first couple of months, and how much is this in amount you're not going to make money. Because people think, yeah, maybe I'm going to lose something and then I'm going to get back like 50 to 80%. But in my opinion, what I see on the market and people coming to me, they don't lose 80% of the money. They lose 180% because all the time the
Mhm.
account is in minus. Why? Because you give $600 in PPC and you sell $300. So that's 100% more.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's important to when if you are running a PPC campaign, you have to be strategic about the things you go after. Like I said before, it's like doing keyword research. You can't necessarily be doing PPC, and you have to ask yourself, if I was position one, if I spent money to rank for this particular search term, would customers still buy my product? And like, you don't want to be advertising red shoes if you have blue shoes.
Of
And
course.
and you have to keep making sure that you're advertising the right way, and that you're like, sometimes it's not smart to go after the big keywords starting out, because those
Of
are the
course.
expensive ones,
Of course.
and they might not convert well as the very narrow niche ones, and they're going to be cheaper.
I
So
have
that's super
5
important.
videos on my Facebook page on Amazon, for real, uh, which I where I talk about this. I call them the search, find, buy keywords. Search ones are just where people are going in to see what's going on the market, and are the big ones like, I don't know, towels. Yeah, everybody just like towels, okay. And I see blue ones, and I see pink ones, and I see bamboo, and I see this, and I see that, and then they just like go and do the shopping, and then they do like, okay, I want bamboo towels because, yeah, this is something that I see. And then they type in bamboo towels pink for, I don't know, 20-year-old woman. So these are search, find,
Yeah.
by keywords. I have like more than an hour videos talking about this. And now I'm very happy that you are also confirming this. And again, we never talked about this before, and you cannot understand the videos since they are not in English. But this is how this business is working. This is what
Mhm.
two sellers who have experience on Amazon, this is how it works. This is how we talk about. So this is very important for me to show people how we do it, and how we have this vision about the platform. Amazing stuff, man.
And it's
I
definitely,
really thank you for this
yeah.
one.
Yeah, and it's so important to realize why to be on Amazon. And Amazon is end of funnel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people come to Amazon, they know exactly what they
Mm-hmm.
want. They are
Mm-hmm.
searching a search term, they are going and
Boom.
buying.
Yeah.
Shopify, Facebook ads, top of funnel. So these are people that may not want your product or may want your product. You just have to determine that.
Yes.
And so make sure that yes, it is worth being on Amazon, but they're just two different platforms that have two different types of customers. So you make sure that you're evolving your process to having optimizing for Amazon type of customers that are there just to buy your product. And on Facebook and Shopify, you might have blog content, you might have video content, and everything else to relate to your purchase and to get that domain authority and everything else. And an important thing to know when it comes to advertising using Facebook ads to go directly to a Amazon product page, an Amazon, just anything on Amazon, it's so important not to optimize for link clicks. I see so many Amazon sellers that are just optimizing for basically the way it works is on Facebook ads. If basically, let's say someone sees an ad, they go through their feed, they click on it,
Okay.
then Facebook says, I did my job, I'm finished.
Bye
And then
bye.
success, I did my
Yes.
job. But if you optimize for purchases on Facebook, then it's going to say, oh, that person clicked the ad but didn't purchase. I failed. But then once a person purchases, Facebook's gonna go, oh, this person purchased. I'm gonna go find other people that will most likely also purchase.
Yes.
And then now you're building it's optimizing for Amazon purchases at that point. And it's really important to be optimizing for purchases. It's very, very difficult to do on Amazon since you don't get a Facebook pixel. So it's
It is.
extremely difficult. But
It is.
once you get up to that level of complexity with your business, then that's when you can take it that other level, use the cheapness of Facebook ads and the incredible targeting to gain incredible amounts of sales within Amazon, to increase your sell through rate, to increase your sales velocity, to increase your rankings, to have better rankings on Amazon, and to take more of that portion from Amazon away. So that's super important there.
This was amazing. And I want to just wrap it up here because we have so much valuable information. We are almost 1 hour in. I don't want to make it too long. I know this was like freestyle talk. We started from the SFR, from the search, find, buy idea and how you rank on Amazon. We went through Facebook. We talked a little bit about money and the ideas how people are starting on this platform. Honestly, the biggest takeaway for me right now is to do it and like test it on Shopify. I never thought about it like this. I never thought, of course I have the money to test it on Amazon, and but I worked to do that because I find investors to do that, and I just put it in put it on paper and see, okay, we're going to lose 20K or 40K just to test this out. So only taking in people who understand this and are available to do it.
Yep.
So before we go, please tell us how can you help people and what your services are and what are you doing. So maybe someone who's going to see this at a certain point will contact you and say, help me.
Yeah. Selling is not my strong suit. I just kind of like spit valuable content and I usually don't sell. But when it comes to it, I just help Amazon sellers when it comes to consulting, when it comes to provide like fixing things, because Amazon has tons of random issues. Like I got a client that was marked for pesticides 3 days ago and their dog food. So yep, like
And
it's a
I'm selling
huge issue.
towels.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all these random Amazon situations where basically they basically come in and say, Victor, go fix it. And they don't even
Okay.
want to worry about it. That's where I've been able to add a lot of value for Amazon sellers. But where I even get more value, add more value is by actually setting doing these search find buy campaigns and being able to track the return on investment from them, which very, very few people can do. We're
I
talking
know.
about like only like 10 people
I
ever can
know.
do this.
I
But
know.
when it comes to, say, if you're ranking for a particular keyword, I'll actually be able to show you the increase in sales that you made. So let's say if you rank for this particular keyword, you invested $5,000 in rebates and you made $50,000 in rebates from that increase in sales. That means you made $45,000 from doing that. And it makes sense to continue doing that. And so usually what I do for clients is I set up a ranking calculator, is what I
Mm-hmm.
call it. And
Mm-hmm.
basically I show that if you invest $5,000 for to
Mm-hmm.
in rebates, then you will get $50,000 in return for
Mm-hmm.
being number one in that keyword. And the way I do that is I see what are those top competitors, what are their sales? And I'm saying, if you were in top one, would you be making $50,000 as
Of
well?
course.
And I keep track of that, create a ranking calculator. After that, in 99% of cases, most like it makes sense in all cases for Amazon sellers to use that. And they say, okay, so you're saying if I invest 5,000, I get 50. Okay, you're in. Let's do it. And after that, after they see that $5,000, they say, okay, what next? And let's say let's go. Let's do 20 this time.
Of
And
course.
then it just keeps going from there and there
From
and
there
there.
and there.
So it's so important to constantly be evolving that process. And that's where a lot of Amazon sellers use me the most is search, find, buy. And when it comes to Amazon consulting, those are the two biggest things for me.
It's amazing, man. It's just, it blows my mind. This now, I'm number 11 on that list because I'm doing the same thing. And I started doing it in my business because I really, really want to know how much units I have to give away through the search find buy method and how much money I'm going to make so that I know, and not just because of the money, because of the fact that I'm going to sell some units and I have to reorder and I have to talk with the people in China and I don't want to. I have 3 months since the product is produced and it's on Amazon to be sold. So it is working on 3 different continents with 3 different time zones and speaking with people. And this is something very important of, okay, you're gonna put $5,000 in, you're gonna make 50,000 in sales, but that means more units. How much
Yep.
money do I need for units and when I have to pay them and all this stuff. Let's just wrap it up. Thank you so much. It gave me so much energy. I'm gonna have an amazing day because of this conversation today, and I'm going to convert the video and post it right now on that Facebook page. Really, really appreciate it. If people want to find you, they just can find you on Facebook. You have your
Yeah.
name here. They're gonna see it. Just ask Victor questions. He was super nice with me from the very beginning. Answered very fast. Of course, there's 8 hour difference between us, but Victor, as you can see, is an amazing guy. He knows a lot about Amazon, and I think this is not the last time we're gonna talk.
That's great. I look forward to it.
Thank you so much, man. Have an amazing night, and talk to you soon. I think really soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk to you soon. I look forward to it.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.